Good afternoon, good evening, this is John Paul Wright. I'm coming to you from Tokyo, Japan. I'm going to talk about the Captain Marvel box office. I'm not the best with numbers, but we know it made $153 million the first weekend that it opened, and I want to talk about why, possibly. Just my thoughts. I heard the movie had a slow pace going into the week, like Monday and Tuesday, but my favorite jackass, Scott Mendelson, reports that it didn't. He says it passed Ant-Man and the first Avenger and Thor, and I guess numbers don't lie, but I don't know. We'll see what happens in the end. In case you don't know who Scott Mendelson is, he is a media shill. He never ever takes the side of common sense or the people or the white dude. He actually makes fun of white dudes, and he is kind of a little bit of a white dude. And, he's always on the side of The Last Jedi, Lucasfilms, Disney, blah blah blah. I think he's a media shill. I'll at least say shill right. Speaking of people I consider media shills, we also have a statement from John Campea that makes a little bit of sense, actually. I'm not a big fan of John Campea. I'm not a fan at all, actually. I actually criticize him on this channel. However, he said that the negative attention that Brie Larson got, making fun of white dudes, things like that, could have actually helped the movie. It could have actually stirred curiosity, stirred activity in, the general audience, and made people want to see it, see what the fuss is about. And, what they say, negative media can sometimes be a positive thing, so there's really kind of no bad promotion, so to speak. You've heard the phrase, it's on the tip of my tongue, I can't get the exact quote. But the point is, it's possible, it's not a bad point that the negative stuff she had actually could have helped a little bit. I'm still thinking about it, but yeah, that's, an okay point. With the negative things that Brie Larson said, this movie logically shouldn't do so good. And also, Samuel L. Jackson said that, quick little 15-minute of fame comment about how Trump had the biggest plantation, something like that, and it wasn't like a huge deal. I'm not like so triggered about that or anything, but it was negative, and I could see how people took it the wrong way, and it wasn't exactly great for him to say that with the timing, so it just seems kind of funny the movie's doing so good, and we have these empty theater pictures, which I covered and some other channels covered, and it's a little weird. It's a little weird. And here's my personal opinion on it. The thing is, Brie Larson is an actress. She's in society, she has a job, and her job pays her very good money. And she just goes and splurs all this racial stuff out, this negative stuff out about white men, and she gets rewarded. So if you saw Captain Marvel, paid money to see it, you pretty much just rewarded Brie Larson for her distasteful statements. I can't really see it any other way. I know it's not Brie Larson who solely works on this movie. There are other people involved, people who do the camera work, people who do the makeup and things like that, but the fact is, they already got paid, they're going to move on with their life, they have the experience of the resume, and it would just be best, I think, if Brie Larson and the people on top who support her and just sit silent and don't say, reprimand her or anything like that, get a little less money. As far as weekend 2, you don't need me to tell you it can't do as good as weekend 1, and it just seems like it should fall off. Apparently $100 million in China, and I'm going to put out my next controversial opinion on China, is what China said about The Last Jedi and why they got rid of it was the actors weren't beautiful enough. So if you think about Rey and Rose Tico, maybe that has some truth to it. And if they just look at Brie Larson as just like some blonde beauty, maybe they're just superficially judging the movie. It's possible. They don't really know about the controversy in the States, stuff she said, the reason I'm pissed. So maybe they're just looking at it as some movie with a blonde chick and they're going to see it. That's my personal opinion on China. I think that's a very logical and reasonable opinion too. I'm in Tokyo. It comes out here tomorrow. So by the time you see this video, it'll probably be out, but we won't really have any numbers about Japan, and I predict it'll do pretty good. I think it's going to look a little boring to the Japanese, like the stuff they're into with anime, and there's a lot more craziness with battles, and I heard Captain Marvel doesn't have one good fight, or something like that. Chris Stuckman actually said in his review that it didn't have a good battle scene. That was a problem with The Last Jedi too, by the way. And Japanese like that crazy, kicking, punching, lasers, all that kind of jumping around, so I don't think it's going to do so good here as far as word of mouth. I think it'll do okay, I guess, the first weekend it opens. Interesting enough, Variety magazine, who actually calls people like me trolls, so they're not that great, but they do also say that Wonder Woman paved the way for Captain Marvel, and she made it more acceptable for female heroes to bust open the box office, which is total bullshit because we've had female heroes like my whole life. I think Terminator probably did pretty damn good for its time in the box office. I think Alien probably did pretty damn good. I guess Kill Bill wasn't like the biggest mainstream movie, but you know, the point is, it doesn't matter. If the movie's good, the movie's good. What about Hunger Games? I think that did like phenomenal, and it had a female lead. Yeah, she wasn't a superhero, but come on, guys. I hate these online piece of shit magazines. Just to wrap up my thoughts, I'm just going to go back and say, yeah, John Campea said something I haven't heard a lot of people say, that the Brie Larson negativity might have actually helped at the box office a little bit. I also think that it's a little surprising the movie's doing so good, and I wish a little more people just kind of sat it out because of Brie Larson's statements. Second weekend, not going to do so good. China, alright, I guess they liked it this time. Japan, we'll see. Anyway, leave me a comment, tell me what you think, news you heard. I don't know, I get a lot of information from comments, my subscribers, and I'm very thankful for that, so let me know something if you hear it. Give me a like. I got a Twitter, I got a Patreon, stuff like that. See you next time.